Like rain, baby falling down. The music that comes out of the black musicians and the Southern Appalachian musicians is American music. It was created here in this country, not something that we brought in from some other place.
The African American influence on Appalachian music dates back as far as the 1790s.
Some of the very first documented evidence of black music in Appalachia happens to be the presence of banjos on riverboats that came up the Tennessee River into the Knoxville area.
The sounds of the banjo led to the introduction of what we know today as the blues ballad.
They were story songs introduced by African American musicians, often based on telling stories about prominent African American figures in the community, sometimes kind of mythologized and sometimes quite accurate and merely documentary of the real deeds of real people.
The most famous of these mountain melodies was the song John Henry.
Well, John Henry was a little baby sitting on his mammy's knee. Well, he picked up a hammer and a little piece of steel. He said, a hammer gonna be the death of me, Lord, Lord.
I think what really is important is that the ballad was so powerful, it transfixed across the entire population, and people of all walks of life sang John Henry and continue to sing John Henry today.
By the turn of the 19th century, the banjo had been adopted by whites and used in minstrel shows, which were quickly becoming the premier form of entertainment across the country. And although the instrument became appropriated, the black influence continued to be present in the performances.
Most of those performers were of white background, often learned, in fact, from slaves that were on the plantations of the early 19th century South.
Black Appalachian music carried on, but given the lack of documentation at the time, a lot of the early African American musicians have unfortunately been lost to time.
It's one of the tragedies of history is that, a lot of people contributed to American culture who themselves did not get acknowledged. It is certainly well past due that we acknowledge many of these people. In fact, there are more to be rediscovered for sure. Shine a light and bring credit to those people because they sure deserve it.
Encompassing influences from cultures the world over, the music of the mountains is something truly unique.
African and Native and Scott-Irish and Irish music.
And all this music fused together to create the blend that is today Appalachian music. Black music is an essential part of that blend, and it's been overlooked, but it deserves recognition and exploration and appreciation.